Welcome once again, folks. This is Cat's Pajamas.
And this is Pain User.
And we are back for another Losers Round 2 match. This is Game 2 of the set between ClouD from Meet Your Maker spawning as our red Terran here in the top right-hand corner of Xel'Naga Caverns. His opponent from Complexity is our green Terran, and up 1-0 after that nice gasless fast expanded to 4 racks push. That is Complexity's Drewbie.
Yeah, Drewbie going with that gasless style. Really liking it. I've seen him use it in almost every TVT out of him thus far, and it's something that works very well against Protoss as well. You don't see it quite so much in TVT, but Drewbie's found a way to make it work. I haven't really seen anyone punish him heavily for it, though. There are builds you can do to really, really punish someone who does a gasless FE into 4 racks like that. Namely, any kind of Marine tank Banshee push off of one base is almost impossible to stop. Cloak Banshee can work to punish it a little bit, but it's not as easy. So anyway, yeah. I'd like to see ClouD try and punish him for it.
I'm curious what he'll do. And this may be a case of just Drewbie knowing the European Terran metagame on certain maps. I mean, he hasn't done this on a ton of maps, on a ton of the smaller maps. You know, actually, I'm going back and thinking about it. In the series against Dystar, he did it on Crevasse, killed him outright on there, was really, really good. Here he did it on Shakura's Plateau. In both of those matches, ClouD and Dystar previously were going after very heavy tech. So maybe Drewbie just knowing what his European Terran opponents are going to do on these larger maps and just exploiting it, really.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. ClouD, one of those guys, though, that, I mean, he can really do anything, and he also loves his cloaked Banshees. He uses them quite frequently in TVT, and they're just such a great unit to have. Even if you don't do a ton of damage early on with the cloaked Banshees, they're just so effective throughout the mid and late game for tank pushing and just random harassment on the mineral line. A lot of people don't really use them to their full effect, and I feel like they're great in a matchup like TVT. Drewbie might once again be going with that gasless FE style. He has that second depot on the way. We still have no gas out of him. Same with ClouD. ClouD, however, has not dropped his second depot yet, so he is going to get that early CC, it looks like, and yeah, he's going to drop that immediately in his main. And Drewbie looks like he might be going for the expand on the low ground. He's actually done that the last few games, so, and yep, he will be going for that low ground expansion. That will get scouted immediately by ClouD, so Drewbie is in the dark. ClouD knows what's going on, but virtually the same build.
Absolutely, and this Marine's going to come over here and clear up this SCV out of ClouD. And like you mentioned, Drewbie did send out one early unit here to the Xel'Naga Tower and took control of the middle of the map, but he has no clue what's coming out of ClouD. And this is going to serve ClouD pretty well because Drewbie, as we've seen, loves going after that multiple barrack style, may even be gearing up for another 4 racks push like we saw in the last couple of matches. There we go. Here's another barracks coming down. He's saving up for the 4th one as well. But ClouD going right to tech here, but he is going to have that early economy. He has enough units to ward against any sort of scouting, so this could end up turning in ClouD's favor if this goes unscouted for any significant period of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope that this time around ClouD does build a bunker. Yeah. That really does shut down any kind of 4 racks pressure. Bunkers, obviously great against Marines in the early game. I mean, they have so many hit points, and in Marine versus Marine combat, as soon as you have that bunker up, have a few SCVs repairing, I mean, you can just take out so many Marines. It'll virtually shut down any kind of early game pressure that Drewbie wants to do. ClouD forgetting that, obviously. Well, no, he did have the bunker going up. It just wasn't quick enough. The bunker ended up going down right as the push was getting to his front door. So let's hope he's a little bit more careful this time and just gets that extra insurance policy in that bunker.
And here we are. Drewbie is queuing up all these units. He's going to gas a little bit faster than he has in the previous games. He actually didn't put up gas until he was attacking with his, about 16 Marine push in the previous game. Yeah. So this is a little bit of a variation, a little bit more safe for the future as far as tech is concerned. But ClouD is moving out here to the middle of the map. He's moving over to his natural. Drewbie's going to see this, and I'm curious if he becomes really aggressive after this. He does have a pretty good number of Marines already stacked.
Yeah, I think ClouD might actually be setting himself up to take quite a bit of damage here. He has moved out to the low ground. He has no bunker up. And also, more importantly, he has no control over the Xel'Naga towers. So Drewbie's going to be able to push all the way across the map here, and he's not going to be spotted. One thing that's interesting, though, is that ClouD has been able to keep his Marine numbers up decently well off of 2 Raxes. I mean, he's only working off 2 Raxes, but he's been consistently pumping the whole time, and he does have this siege tank on the way, and I think with this siege tank, he will be able to hold this, but he's going to have to back off immediately right here, and that he does. Drewbie might be able to get in and do some damage here. First SCV going down, second SCV going down, pulling SCVs off the line. This is not good for ClouD, but it looks like he has managed to stabilize.
And that was 3 almost free SCV kills there for Drewbie. Drewbie is going to make his way through a lot of these Marines with this tank in the back, providing nice support. And unfortunately, that is going to drive off Drewbie's first attack. And even his reinforcements coming up are not enough to hold this off. ClouD is going to push Drewbie away. Drewbie continually reinforcing. There we go. Now starting to turn his rally points back as he is moving into upgrades for his bio, but still just a pure Marine composition coming out of Drewbie thus far.
Yeah, also getting combat shields before stim. So going to continue to produce those Marines. Going to have late stim as well. Just now adding his factory. I think Drewbie might have been able to sneak a little bit of an economic lead there. If we take a look, he is working off, 37 to 33 harvesters, and he obviously was muling that whole time. Maybe caused ClouD to slip a little bit on his macro because he had to deal with that push. So Drewbie, I think, able to take a little bit of a lead there, 64 to 54 in the supplies right now, but ClouD does have siege mode already. He has 2 tanks out. Supply blocked pretty hard right here. Been stuck at 54 for quite a while. 2 depots on the way, but that really hurts. Oof.
And there is a scan coming down, so Drewbie's going to make his way up. Don't think he's going to be able to break the siege line right away. He is spreading out his units nicely, though, so Drewbie going to make his way back around to the left, but he's coming within the fire range of these siege tanks.
Oh, wow.
ClouD is doing quite a bit of damage here, but Drewbie has so many SCVs. There we go. Here comes the repair. ClouD does get that off. Nice job, and he's going to be able to take out a number of these units. There we go. Now, finally, those tanks are unsieging. ClouD reinforcing with a few Marines, and he cleans it up without losing a tank.
Yeah, that was very well done. Pulling all his SCVs off the line to mass repair those tanks. Really good. Spur of the moment thinking, and able to keep both of them alive. Had to eventually put them both into tank mode, still kept them alive. I was worried that Drewbie might target SCVs there. Had he started to target SCVs on those tanks, it could have been real bad for ClouD. But he was obviously doing something else, probably macroing, and we do have a cloaked Banshee headed into the natural right now. This is going to be able to equalize some of those SCV kills that Drewbie was able to get earlier, starting to pick off. Oh, and no scan, and the turret is just starting to go down, so this is going to do quite a bit of damage. ClouD just being extra careful, doesn't want to lose that Banshee, but now he knows that there's only 1 scan available, and he's going to be able to kill quite a few SCVs here.
Absolutely. This Banshee already has 6 kills, and it's going to rack up a few more like you mentioned. There is enough for that scan. We'll see if it goes down. No, Drewbie not going to be able to get back there fast enough because of the closed-off supply depots for a while. ClouD, being very patient, though, gets his 8 kills and backs out without losing that cloak, and he's reinforcing with another Banshee along the right.
Also, that late stim that I was talking about earlier. Just now finishing his stim, he's maybe 95%, but if he had stim, he would have been able to kill that Banshee easily with the scan. Combat shield not really coming into effect just yet. I guess it helped out a little bit with that push at the natural. Now we do have 2 Banshees harassing here at the same time, but not going to be able to get back into that mineral line and do the economic damage that he wants to. He's really just going to be able to float around the production, maybe pick off a Marine or 2. But he will scout the entire base. He will see these early medevacs coming out, and wow, Drewbie just going with this heavy upgrade style. He has 2 engineering bays. Yeah, the Banshee did get taken out right there. But more importantly, he's working off of 2 engineering bays, and he's going with this only Marine medevac style right now. He's lifted off his factory. He's conceded all control over the map with tanks, so he's not going to fall into that tank war. But I feel like that's a huge fault of his, especially on a map like Xel'Naga Caverns, where tanks are oh so important. I mean, they're more important on this map, I would say, than any other map, and he's forfeit that.
Yeah, unless Drewbie was just planning to do massive, ridiculous drops everywhere and try and maintain map control. No, I completely agree with you. I understand what you're saying, but that's got to be his approach now, just because, Drewbie's going to make his way up. He's going to try and pick off the Banshee, and I think the Banshee's going to get away. Unfortunately, this tank was not sieged, so wasn't able to ward away those units, and
both
a scan goes
Banshees
down.
Going down.
Takes out another one. Nice little game there for Drewbie. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like you were saying, he might go crazy with drops, which we see him going into the main right now. We have 2 medevacs worth of Marines headed straight into the main, and they're going to start to kill a ton of SCVs here. That is just a firing squad going to town on the mineral line. Marines reinforcing now for ClouD. He will be able to hold this off, but at what cost? And we do have a force outside of the natural ready to go for Drewbie. It looks like he's going to send those in right now. There are 4 tanks there, however, and they are going to shell those Marines on the way in. He might gets 1 tank, is forced to pick up the rest and leave. And as I was saying before, and you mentioned earlier also that Drewbie might be going for this heavy drop, heavy harass style, and we saw him right there try and go for the main and then also go for the natural once reinforcements were sent to the main. But going back to what I said earlier, on Xel'Naga Caverns, that's a map where it's even easier to defend that massive drop style of play because the area around your main and the area around your natural is just so tight, and there's only a few avenues. So you can put up missile turrets, you can have tanks sieged to almost cover both positions, and I think ClouD doing a very good job right now of stopping that harassment. And he's also forced Drewbie to land his factory once again, and it looks like he is also producing a few more factories in the production line. So he's going to start ramping up that tank production, realizing that he made a little bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, absolutely. Fresh meal does go down from that Banshee, but that's not really going to be terribly consequential at the moment, especially due to the loss of that Banshee right there. Drewbie going to make his way up and take control of the Xel'Naga Tower, so at least it has established map control. ClouD has not really felt comfortable yet enough to position himself down and try and take control of these Xel'Naga Towers, get himself better vision with those siege tanks and try and control the middle of the map. I don't know if he's more wary about more drops coming in his way, as right now he's basically all infrastructure, no units, very high tech, more Banshees coming out, but you know, if Drewbie gets this siege tank production that you were talking about underway, that's going to be very, very bad for ClouD, as he just doesn't have the, I don't know, man. He just doesn't have the army to win a straight-up engagement if Drewbie gets that tank production.
No, I hear you. Sometimes it works out that way in TVT. It's kind of weird, especially when you don't open with that heavy rack style of an opener. But one thing he does have is a tremendous tank count. He's working off how many tanks right now?
At the moment, let's take a look at the unit tab. He has 9.
Okay, so he has 9 right now. But Drewbie is continuing to produce 3 tanks at a time. He does have those factories down. That's also going to give him a gas dump. He was floating up at around a gas dump. He was floating up at around 1,400 minerals and 900 gas, and you will be able to get rid of a lot of that through that factory production.
He's also building 2 Banshees at a time, so now he's just completely stopped his bio production. Still getting upgrades for them, but 3 siege tanks and 2 Banshees at a time. So even though those were the units that ClouD had established in tech very early on, Drewbie is now significantly outproducing him at his own units.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I think that the Banshees might actually be really, really good for Drewbie here, because the Marine count for ClouD is so low, but ClouD does have all of these racks, 5 racks now with reactors added at his natural, so his Marine production is going to be a lot better than it originally was. But if we look at ClouD's army, it's mostly tanks. That Marine squad could easily be killed with one misclick into the tank line, and as soon as he loses all those Marines, those Banshees from Drewbie are going to be able to clean up the tanks quite easily, and they'll also be able to work on those tanks from the sides and also scout, much like what ClouD is doing right now with his Banshees. Drewbie just not doing it yet.
Yes, and we do have the first few Banshees out for Drewbie at the moment. Actually, I think he's not sure where they're at. There's 4 of them.
I think he's hiding them somewhere.
I am on a hunt. There we go. Okay, so they finally made their way out, making the way past the gold over to the right. 4 Banshees. No, you're right. Only just now started.
And they're in range of the Xel'Naga, so he does know about it. Ouch. We just saw ClouD click on the Banshees, so he knows they're all there. Drewbie trying to send them around. They will go with this drop to assist, so he's going to be dropping and going in with those Banshees at the same time. ClouD all over this, putting up turrets all around his base. He is going to be more than prepared for this. Hopefully, Drewbie tries to sneak around the far, far, far right-hand side of the map and avoid those turrets, but I don't know if he will be able to do that. We do have Drewbie's 4th going down right now, ClouD as well, so both players gonna expand here and go into the late game. Oh my god, Drewbie's flying right into all these turrets. This could be devastating for him.
And he's gonna drop down all these units regardless. 1 medevac does go down. He gets most of his bio forces down, so we'll be able to clean these up, but ClouD is pulling back.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, stimming everything.
Every single unit. It might have been necessary. He's gonna have to stim again here, though, if he wants to take all this out. No, Drewbie actually not getting out of there, just trying to fight that off, but gonna lose all those units.
Wow.
And that was really impressive how those Banshees just took those turrets down. I mean, I thought at least a few of those Banshees were going to go down, and now we do have some Banshees from Drewbie. Cloak just finishing, so he will be able to cloak those Banshees. He might not do it, though. Both Banshees do go down, and Drewbie taking up a very aggressive and important position at the North Xel'Naga. I think this is going to work wonders for him, and ClouD is just going to be forced to react to this, or he's going to be forced to counterattack. If he counters down the left side of the map, I think that could go very well for him. But, oh god, this Banshee is going to be not so fun.
Nope. And look, there's the scan, but it didn't matter. One tank already went down in time, but at the same time, ClouD's going to make his way over to the left-hand side.
He's going to counter.
All of these units are being rallied for Drewbie, but oh no, he's just losing them for free. All these Marines are so low, though. There's no medevac backbone. They're all down to less than 10 HP.
Yeah, that is also, he had to stim them earlier, and very intelligently, but they were so low. He was going to send them to the fourth and harass that at the same time. Drewbie trying to counter through the mid here. He's going to go after the gold. He has all of his tanks there. He's sending his Marines into the natural. Both players going for a base trade scenario here, although Drewbie has left his tanks in the middle of the map. They are exposed, and ClouD is on top of this. He's sending everything through the bottom, and he's going to take out all of Drewbie's tanks here, and that is going to spell doom for Drewbie and victory for ClouD. So very, very well done right there. I don't think there's any way that Drewbie can recover from this. He does have a 4th and 5th expansion up, but his army is going to get completely wiped out here, and ClouD is just looking so sexy right now.
He is, and but Drewbie's going to make his way up nonetheless. He is still in this. Take a look at the units tab. Drewbie down to 36 workers to the 66 of ClouD, so he's down in that as well. He is producing pretty well, though. I mean, he's
able to muster an army out of nothing. I mean, I thought Drewbie was more than out right there, but his production, he just has so many production facilities. But if he loses this push right here, I think he's going to be in trouble, and ClouD pouncing on it with everything, going to siege up all of his tanks, but Drewbie with the great position there spreads all of his tanks, and he is going to take out ClouD's entire mech army here.
Oh, wow. He just completely neutralized it.
What?
That was amazing. That was so amazing.
Impressive.
And these Marines are still doing damage here at the 4th. That means the only mining base here is currently going to be shelled as soon as Drewbie's able to reinforce this. Wow, a complete 180. He was down by, what, 60 supply?
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I mean, ClouD did make a huge mistake right there, but I gotta hand it to Drewbie. I thought he was completely out of this game. I thought there was virtually no way for him to win. And right there, spreading all of his Marines, able to maybe kill 2 to 1 in terms of supply right there.
Yeah, he was. I mean, absolutely. That push did more damage than I could have thought possible with the units he was running up there, with the units that ClouD had in position to defend. That's unbelievable. Let's actually take a look real quick. Upgrades. Drewbie was at 3-3. ClouD was at 3-3 as well. His siege tanks were actually more powerful than Drewbie's are, so wow.
That was just a beautiful spread right there, and he had that defensive position set up, and I don't think ClouD necessarily needed to attack directly into that right there. I mean, he made the decision to try and save the gold, but I think it would have been a better idea to maybe go after this 5th or the 4th. Losing all those units right there at the gold that he's not even currently mining off of that much wasn't the best decision.
Yeah, I agree with you, and Drewbie now has all these planetary fortresses up at his defensive position, so these units aren't able to just run in and do damage. And Drewbie's going to go right around. He stims up, he picks off the siege tank, and now there's almost nothing left for ClouD, and all of these production structures are going to go down. These Marines and tanks down here at the 4th base as well, they're taking out a number of SCVs, completely denying the economy there. At the same time, ClouD came around the back to try and hurt this planetary fortress, but Drewbie's going to throw a scan up there. There we go, and these Marines are going to have to pull away, so those will go down. But look at this! Drewbie wrecking ClouD's production!
Very, very impressive. Drewbie just, well, not only impressing me, making me eat my words. You are never completely out in a TVT. That was such impressive play towards the end of this game. He's killed the 4th for ClouD, and ClouD throwing out the good game. Well played. That was very well played by Drewbie. Gotta hand it to him there. Such an impressive game, and really just turning things around. That was a complete 180.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, there was one point in the game when he was down 139 supply to 200. At that point, ClouD had the much better army. He had the much better infrastructure. He could reproduce units really fast. Now, to Drewbie's credit, he was already establishing his 5th at that time, so he was going to be up a base, but still, if they had ever faced a straight-up engagement, Drewbie would have lost, hands down, but superior positioning just just allowed him to take the day.
Yeah, and that one battle right outside the third where Drewbie just got set up in the sweet spot, and then the spread on his Marines. He spread all of his Marines at the same time and absorbed all those tank shots, maybe hitting 1 to 2 Marines maximum.
Yeah.
So just got so much out of that. Meanwhile, his tanks were just shelling away the whole time. Took out ClouD's entire tank line right there. And that just swung the game completely into Drewbie's favor. So
yeah, and there were times, when ClouD was overstimming himself as well. He never had a medevac infrastructure or anything like that, or backbone to help his bio army. So he had stimmed once to pick off some Banshees. He stimmed again to come after this set of units up there. He stimmed a third time to head down to the gold and start attacking that. By then, all his units were in the red, and they were very easily mopped up by Drewbie as well. So
yeah, and he didn't have the medevacs to continually stim like that either.
Right.
It was just all Marine army. Well, anyways, congratulations to Drewbie. Very, very well played. And if you guys enjoyed that, be sure and check out more at ign.com/IPL. Check out some of our social media links in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you need the links for that, be sure to check out Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and justintv.com/IGN Pro League. And if you enjoyed our casts, make sure to check me out at twitter.com/PainUser.
And you can find me at twitter.com/CatsPajamasSC2. So thanks very much for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next time.